We'll go to Mark here on the front row.
Hi. What's the kind of the team mindset going into tomorrow? Is like all the pressure off because there's no expectations if the team does not have Liz, or is there even more pressure because everyone feels like if there's no Liz, you got to make up for that output?
No, our mindset has stayed very much the same all year, regardless of who we're playing, where we're playing at, what kind of stakes are at with us. So, our mindset, it's been pretty solid and been pretty consistent the whole year, so we haven't really been focused on that.
Did the two games in Greensboro for the AC tournament without Liz, was that, did that kind of get you guys used to playing without her, if that's going to be the case this week?
I think we've had a couple games in the past couple years without Liz. Of course, she's a big part of our team, but she's not solely the team. We have a lot of talent on the team. We had only one practice to prepare for those two games, but I mean, like Georgia said, we're pretty confident in ourselves and we're ready for either way. We're just focused on the game ahead of us and we take it one game at a time.
Go to Tim here.
Yes, for both of you, Marshall has a different look. Are they particularly tough to prepare for? And have you seen any? I'm sure you've been pressed at some point, but any kind of press that resembles what they do?
We'll start with Kayla and then Georgia.
I think they're different than a lot of ACC teams. I think we see that in non-conference a lot of different schemes and styles that that we're not used to in ACC play. But like we've seen some presses, like Duke has a really good press. There's some really defensive-minded teams in the ACC, so I think we are prepared for that. But yeah, just keeping our composure all game, and I think once we break the press, we're good.
She said all the right things I want to add.
Additional questions for the student athletes. David, second row.
David Cunningham, Tech Sideline. Georgia, what does playing in Castle, playing at home, does that kind of bring nice comfort? I know obviously big stage NCAA tournament, but to be back home, to be in Castle, a place where you guys are undefeated this year, what is that like?
Yeah, it's always an absolute pleasure to play in Castle, obviously, but off of last year when we hosted and they sung Enter Sandman, a cappella and all of that, like it's just the energy that they bring, and it's great for us and we appreciate it, but the energy on campus completely shifts, it changes. I went to class yesterday, I had like 8 people come up to me saying I couldn't get a ticket or I got a ticket. Like everyone's so excited, and for us that's kind of more rewarding, the impact that we've had on this campus and people around here. So yeah, playing in Castle, it's great, the energy's great, and I cannot wait to play and see what everyone brings.
Kayla, any thoughts on Castle?
I think it's the best place to pay, so yeah, I mean, it's just number one.
Kayla, what is this last week? Coach mentioned that normally after the AC tournament you guys would have spring break, but the schedule was different this year, so you guys were kind of still in that mode. What has been the mindset of the team since the ACC tournament to prepare and just kind of keep your bodies in shape when you didn't know necessarily who you were playing?
I think it's pretty similar. Like we still had a couple days rest. We just had classes this time. We didn't have a break from school.
She's in a master's program, so she doesn't do in-person classes. She can stay home and chill.
I still do work. So we had a couple of days rest. But I think it was just like resetting, regrouping. Like you said, it's a big, important part of the year, so we have to make sure our bodies are good, staying healthy, and then just kind of re-scheming and trying to get together. And like we said, we only had one practice before, and now we had like a whole 2 weeks. We didn't know who we were playing, but I think we focus on ourselves the most, so it didn't really matter who our opponent was. So I think it was just a good little week to reset.
Mark again.
To follow up on that, I think Kayla, you said that before the AC tournament, you only had one. I think you said one practice to kind of prepare without Liz. So the fact that you've had more than that for tomorrow, how has that made things different? Is that led you to kind of be more comfortable if you don't have Liz tomorrow, or is it about a whole different? You're going to play a whole different way without Liz now that you've had the extra time to prepare. What's that extra time kind of made a difference in?
We just kind of prepared for any situation, no matter what, with or without her, just to prepare us either way, so we'll be ready.
Back row.
Hello, Callie Gramlich, ESPN. Georgia, we know about your relationship with Liz when you look at the pick and roll, pick and pop. You guys work together in individuals, all that stuff. So have you been able to work some with Clara, timing-wise, pick and pop, that kind of stuff? Tell me more about that, if you could.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the relationship between Liz and I is very much highlighted because we do it all game, every game. Like when you play 38 minutes together, it's going to be on full display. But what people don't see is in practice, Clara's filling in that role as well the whole year. He's incorporated her. You know, it's a tough situation being a freshman and then being a backup to an All-American and a 3-time Player of the Year. But she gets those reps. Like her and I have done that. I've obviously done it more with Liz throughout the years, but she steps in, she takes the reps. You know, even sometimes Kayla and I will alternate the guard position. She's had reps with Liz doing pick and roll, so it's like very much well incorporated. But you know, Coach Brooks knows what he's doing, and he's prepared for whatever. So, and I've had plenty of reps with Clara. Obviously, she's just a little baby.
Front row to Colby here.
For both of you guys, obviously hosting last year, a couple big games earlier in the season down in Charlotte, but still the moment can get big for some of these freshmen, Karis Baker, Samaya Suffering, Carly Wenzel, Clara Strack, as you mentioned. How do you kind of coach them through that, being two veterans on the team, and not let the moment get too big?
We'll start with Georgia.
I think at the end of the day, it's just keeping the main thing, and that for us is just basketball. Obviously, there's a lot of attention, a lot of pressure, and expectations, but I think as long as we keep our focus on our focus, like it's easier to deal with it that way. And obviously I think our leadership group, you know, me, Kayla and Liz, were very confident, not only in ourselves, but in the girls. So, you know, we've been pretty, I would say, persistent with gassing them up, for lack of a better term. But yeah, we have the utmost confidence in all of them, and we really want the best for everyone. So it's no negative vibes over here. We're excited, if anything.
Any thoughts, Kayla?
I mean, pretty much what Georgia said, and I think now it's like nice. They have, like you said, they have the Charlotte game under their belt. We went to LSU. We just played an ACC tournament, so they have now a couple of games under their belt. And then we just try and keep them like in check. That when you're in the game, like really everything is tuned out. It's kind of hard to know if you're not a player. Like you have so many people after games like, "Did you hear me yelling at you?" Like, no, I didn't hear you in like the 8th row, but. Like when you're playing, it's kind of just all like you and your team and your coach. That's like all you hear. So I think they've been really good at that this year, and they'll continue to be like that.
We'll go David, then Luke, and then Mark.
Georgia, I'm curious, what has Liv meant to you guys this year? She does so many little things, doesn't necessarily score a lot, but grabs so many rebounds. What kind of consistency and leadership as a veteran has she brought to you guys?
Oh yeah, like her whole philosophy and the way she's just been has just been like persistent and consistent. Like at the start of the year, she was very much struggling to find her role, obviously coming from Wake, where maybe she had different players surrounding her and she was expected of different things, and she stuck with it all throughout this year. And I mean, to tell the truth, like she probably struggled off the court early in the year because she was just trying to grasp her role and really understand it, but she's fulfilled it. Like she's come and figured out what she is needed to do for us to be successful. And as you said, the pressure she puts on the boards is massive for us. Honestly, like her and Liz rebounding together, it's great. And you know, she had a couple of, you know, really big double-digit rebounding games, but she might have had 8 points, like 6 points. But, you know, she knows her role, she's comfortable with it, and she's so valuable to us. And even off the court, her leadership style, it's very collected, it's very calm. I think a lot of the girls trust her and go to her for a lot of different things, and she's just a brilliant person.
Luke?
Luke Creasy with the Herald Dispatch. You know, for both of you, when you figured out the game was a sellout, obviously you've had really good crowds here all year. But what does that say for the growth of just women's basketball as a whole, and the excitement around, you know, a tournament atmosphere like this?
Let's start with Kayla.
I think it's pretty crazy. Like I remember seeing the tickets were on sale, and then I opened Instagram maybe 15 minutes later, and it's like 9 minutes ago, Hokie women's basketball posted it's a sellout. Like I didn't even get to tell my family like tickets are on sale yet, and it's already sold out. So I got my 6 tickets for them. We're good, but it's crazy just over the 5 years to see how much women's basketball, and specifically Hokie's women's basketball, the support we have. And we wouldn't have had a sellout even if we were hosting 4 years ago. So now to have, I don't even know how many games we've sold out this year, 6, 7, but it's just crazy because we have fun playing, so it's fun to have people enjoy watching us play. So
Kind of goes back to the point I made before about how everyone around here is just excited. Like, it's very much a reciprocated relationship. Like, they come and they're excited for us, and we're excited that they're there and they're cheering. I think even this time last year, maybe not this time, earlier last year, we were still begging people to come to our games. We were going around, I was handing out donuts, we were driving on the golf cart around campus yelling at people to come get tickets. Like, the transformation has been incredible. So, I mean, we love it, and we hope that, you know, everyone here knows how much we adore them coming and showing out.
Mark?
Georgia, obviously when you played your last game against Notre Dame without Liz did not go well. Where does the improvement have to come from if you're playing without Liz tomorrow?
Just confidence. I think, you know, we probably could have grabbed it a bit more head on. I think, you know, first half we were there. We did not hit shots. We did not play our best. And then, you know, the start of the third quarter was they just blitzed us and we let it get away from us. We never really had that fight back, but it's nothing spectacular. Like, we can hit shots and we can play more aggressive, and I think that was just the deciphering factor in that game.
As a point guard, when you're going up against a team that's one of the top teams in the country in steals, does that kind of get the competitive juices going? You're like, all right, bring it on, I guess, or what's your mindset?
My mindset is the same going into every game. Obviously, the large responsibility is on me to control the team and the tempo and keep my composure. And I think, you know, if I'm crazy and wilding out, then the 4 of the other girls in the court are going to follow my lead. So it's a big responsibility, but I've been in many, many different positions before. You know, you want to talk about the Ohio State press and all of that. We could have said the same thing going into that game, but I kept my focus straight, and I think I did a pretty good job at handling that. But Marshall's a completely different team. The way they press is completely different. They apply a lot of pressure, so, you know, keeping my composure and making the right reads is going to be at the forefront of my mind.
Any additional questions for the student athletes? We'll take one more right here in the second row.
Hi, Ryan Duvall, Tech Lunch Pail. Do you guys think that Carly Wenzel is someone who could step up for you guys in this tournament?
Let's start with Kayla on that answer.
Carly, yeah, that's my roomie right there. But no, she's been ready. She's been working. Of course, she's a redshirt freshman, so I think just another year under her belt in practice and watching Georgia and watching me and even people from last year, KT, she's prepared. She's shown really good glimpses of what she can be. She's an aggressive downhill driver that I think will come in handy for us in the next couple games. And just her staying focused is like going to be key for us, and she's going to give us good minutes.
Georgia, I saw your reaction too.
That woman is a sponge. Like, she's asking all these annoying questions, borderline to the point where I just get annoyed with her in practice because I'm like, get away from me. But she asks a lot of questions. She's so intrigued. She always wants to know, you know, how she can get better. I'll get a text from her late night, and she'll be like, hey, like, can we watch some film? Can we get together? Like, can we work out? And I'll be like, chill, Carly, I'm tired. No, I'm kidding. I try and give her the blueprint. I try and help her, but, you know, she loves basketball. She's excited about the opportunities she gets. So, yeah, she'll be good for us.